stories that matters most to you take center stage, and we continue to amplify the voices, concerns, stories, and perspectives of the everyday Nigerian citizens. That's you and I. I am Adefunke Jayesimi, and today on People's Voice, we are having an analytical discussion on the new visa application requirements for Nigerians looking to get an American visa, and of course, the response of the federal government on these issues. But first, let's look into some news highlights. In Nigeria, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has recorded 69,376 Nigerians who pre-registered online for the continuous voter registration (CVR) exercise within 7 days of opening the portal. Breaking down the figures, we have 35,573, that's 51.3%, which are females, while 33,803, which amounts to 48.7%, are males. A significant majority of the registrants, 48,300 people, about 62.2%, are actually young people between the age of 18 and 34. The portal went live on August 18, yesterday, 2025, at about 8:30 a.m., and the online registration is available 24 hours, 7 days. Physical registration will commence on August 25, 2025, at 811 state and local government offices nationwide, opening from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekdays. The registration is open to Nigerian citizens aged 18 and above who are also not already registered voters. So let's talk about some of the events across states in Nigeria. In Akwa Ibom, registration is currently ongoing with voter registration and sensitization efforts in place to ensure optimum voter turnout. In Rivers State, we see a large number of eligible voters who have already registered online ahead of the physical capturing scheduled for August 25. And yes, in Borno State, registration is currently ongoing online, but physical registration will only be held in 23 local government areas due to security challenges in 4 areas. For Bauchi State, online registration is hitch-free and physical registration is set to begin on August 25. INEC has urged residents of Wayas State to use the online voter registration process, which is simple, convenient, and accessible to everyone with internet access, according to reports. And yes, Kwara State residents are participating in the online pre-registration exercise, with INEC expressing optimism about the turnout. For Plateau State, the online pre-registration exercise has commenced and the physical registration will start on August 25, 2025. So according to online report, the Independent National Electoral Commission has recorded 69,376 Nigerians who pre-registered online for the continuous voter registration CRV exercise within 7 hours of opening the portal on August 18, 2025. So let's talk about some of the other events in the news with some news summaries so far. We'll talk about politics, where INEC criticized for failing to enforce electoral laws. The SDP presidential candidate in 2023, Adewale Adebayo, in the general election, has criticized INEC for failing to enforce electoral laws, particularly against APC premature campaigning. Adebayo emphasized that the law prohibits campaigning until 150 days to an election. So yeah, the breakdown, APC on the by-elections that held over the weekend, and we had that conversation on the show yesterday. But of course, it's still in the news as the All Progressives Congress won 12 federal and state constituencies in recent by-election, with INEC releasing results across 16 constituencies that participated in the polls. Yes, another headline says that Peter Obi urges Nigerians to register and collect PVC. I mean, among many other people that have been advocating for Nigerians to be a part of this process, former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has called on Nigerians to register and collect permanent voter card PVCs ahead of the 2027 general election, stressing that PVCs are the most powerful tool to defeat bad leadership and to also curb electoral fraud. In Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo has claimed that the recent by-election shows he won the 2023 governorship election, citing the APC's victory in 51 wards of 51. Well, let's talk about elections matter as we head straight to Anambra State. The Anambra State governorship election, which is scheduled for November 8, 2025, with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, pledging to uphold transparency and credibility throughout the process. And still talking about states in Rivers State local government elections has been in the news, but this is coming from the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, who has announced that local government elections will take place on August 30, 2025, with voters electing chairman, vice chairman, and councillors across states. And finally, in the news at this hour is Nnamdi Kanu's case, where Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer has accused the federal government of clutching at propaganda and dead laws while ignoring binding judicial pronouncements in Kanu's ongoing trial. The lawyer argued that Kanu is being tried under a repealed law, which is totally unacceptable, but that's the much we can take in the news on People's Voice today. To get your reaction and get your thoughts on some of the conversations we'll be having in the studio today, please do well to call us on 090-447-32605. 090-447-32605 is the number to call us via WhatsApp, and you can follow us on social media at VOP TV Live. You can also use the hashtag People's Voice on VOP TV to be a part of the conversation, and on YouTube we have Voice of the People Television. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together let's make our voices heard. It's time to go on a break now. When we return, we'll come to talk about the United States government has introduced a new visa policy requiring Nigerian applicants to disclose their social media activities for the past 5 years. Please stay tuned. Many thanks for staying with People's Voice on VOP Television. So, here's the gist of what's happening between Nigeria and the United States of America at the time. The United States government has introduced a new visa policy requiring Nigerian applicants to disclose their social media activities for the past 5 years. This move aims to strengthen national security through enhanced screening measures. And here is what is currently happening. New requirements. Nigerian visa applicants must now provide a comprehensive list of their social media profiles, including usernames, handles, email addresses, and phone numbers associated with other online presence. And of course, conversations are around the consequences of non-compliance. So the US has said that failure to disclose social media information could result in a visa denial and future ineligibility to come into the United States of America. But yes, you hear rumors around reciprocal action. The Nigerian government has vowed to respond in kind, subjecting U.S. citizens applying for Nigerian visas to the same requirements. And a lot of reactions online are saying, okay, maybe we're in a tit-for-tat season. But the Nigerian response also came from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesman, Kimibe Ebianfa, who stated that Nigeria was briefed ahead of the announcement and will convene an inter-agency meeting to agree on the best way to respond to this. The meeting will involve the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Interior, and the Ministry and the National Intelligence Agency. So a bit of background into this story. The development is part of a broader tightening of immigration policies under President Donald Trump's administration in the United States of America, which has included stricter citizenship evaluations. The U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, USCIS, has rolled out tougher guidelines for individuals seeking American citizenship, evaluating applicants' day-to-day lifestyle, societal engagement, and adherence to the U.S. norms. Also, there is visa revocations, where the U.S. State Department has revoked 6,000 student visas since Secretary of State Marco Rubio took office 6 months ago over infractions and security concerns. Yes, the U.S. is talking about security concerns, and you begin to wonder, I mean, does it mean that being in Nigeria totally makes me a potential criminal, or what exactly is the situation here? But man, we really cannot question what they choose to do about this, but we can also have internal conversations here and maybe some diplomatic approach to this, because this doesn't seem right for Nigerians. But it's never a one-man show on People's Voice. It's time to get deep into analysis and get some discussion on this topic. Joining me live in the studio in Lagos here is senior in-house analyst of VOP Television, Mr. Dele Fanimo to do justice to this topic. Good afternoon, Mr. Dele Fanimo.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Fanimo. The U.S. is showing the world that it's the big brother. I mean, maybe unofficial, but seems that's the way it is. Before I ask you questions, let me get your reaction to the to all of this coming from the U.S. and the emphasis on security concerns.
This thing is very simple. What the U.S. government has done is to the favor of Nigerians. It's just like you are groping in the dark and somebody just beam the searchlight on you so that you can see where you are going. This thing has been on for more than 10 years. A lot of people go to embassy, American embassy, and they are denied visas, and they are not obliged to tell you why they are denying you visas. But I have friends that are working in the embassy in Abuja and their consulate in Lagos, and I've taken time to find out. You see, it's a fallout of 911.
That incident, 911?
Yes. It's a fallout of 911, and it's also a fallout of Mutalab, that former chairman, First Bank, PLC's son, who wanted to use explosive to bring down airplane en route US.
Since then?
Of course. You see, people are intentional in those places. They work round the clock. They don't want a repeat. And so any little thing that could trigger something like that in future, they must take care of it.
But why did it take CIA?
Why do you have Pentagon?
Why did it take the US so long to be bold enough about this decision?
It's not a question of being bold enough. They just realized that, look, a lot of people are falling into these problems without knowing. And so it's better you enlighten them. I knew about this thing more than 10 years ago. And in my private engagement, I usually tell people, particularly the youth, that be mindful. Look, I am on Facebook. You never see me doing anything on Facebook. Because even when you delete, Pentagon has everything.
Data.
Because it's in the cloud, they can call. When Mutalab was arrested, immediately they went to work, and those things he was actually doing in his closet, in his hotel room, those trainings he acquired in Pakistan and some other places were there. And the beef he had with the West, not even US alone,
was obvious
through his chats,
engagements, yeah,
you know, was there for everybody to see. So when they presented evidence against him in court, it was overwhelming. He knew that the game was off.
So,
so
Mr.
he had to admit guilt.
Is it that there's a belief that you are a representation of whatever you put out on social media?
Look,
and the kind of post you choose to engage with?
Let me give you an example. As a psychologist, I will tell you this. I have saved 3 people's lives based on what they wrote on Facebook. There is a particular cousin. Around 11:30 in the night, he posted something. It is well. This is somebody that is a chief in my community. For him to say it is well.
You started reading meaning to it?
Of course, I will read meaning to it.
Oh,
immediately.
From a suicidal angle?
Yes!
Oh.
Immediately, I picked my call and said, what is going on? Has the traditional ruler sacked you? Has he relieved you of your chieftaincy title? And a high chief crying profusely.
Wow.
And I said, what happened? He narrated the whole story. And he said he never believed that I could stumble on this. That was why he posted it late. And when he told me everything, it took us more than 1.5 hours. And I was able to assist him in solving those problems. I was able to identify the problem, and I was able to provide solution. And
so social media is not just cruise and clout.
It's not.
Wow.
People, there's something that is called coping behavior in psychology. People tend to cope with their reality by posting something different from what they are passing through. You need to understand them
not like
for you to know.
Psychology.
Yes. I'll give you another example. A notable Nollywood actor based in Canada now, who is a friend to a friend, not even my friend. But Facebook algorithm brought that particular thing. And it was also early in the morning. So this is the reason why I have not left Facebook, because I don't have any need for it.
So you have been like
I'm a secret police.
Secret police on Facebook.
Yes. Do you know what happened? Immediately I saw that post, I called my friend, who is a friend to him. I said, Tayo, there is problem. He said, what problem? I said, go and check so person's post that this guy is about committing suicide. Lo and behold, Tayo called him. He didn't pick Tayo's call. I said, Tayo, don't end it there. Go and look for people that are in Canada that knows this guy. Let them burst into his room. So
were they able to salvage the situation?
They were able to salvage the situation.
Okay.
What he needed to do was on the table to commit suicide. As at the time they broke into his room.
Well, now I understand
so now
the position of social media.
This is what these people analyze. If you go to embassies, you hardly see elderly people interviewing people. You see between ages of 19 and 25. Those ones are psychologists. And you know what they do? There's somebody at the back end that is monitoring your demeanor, that is monitoring everything about you beyond what you are telling this person. So they are not looking at your papers. They want to validate what they already know. So a lot of people are denied visas because sometimes they look desperate. It is either I go
if
or
I had
not.
known this, I would have applied for the US visa a long time, because my page is just so beautiful to watch. But I think there was a conversation at the time where the NIDCOM boss, Abike Daribi, was saying that, maybe more like a suggestion, that if you would be denying people visa, then there should be a refund. What do you think about that? Why
should there be a refund? It is what you want. What about the money they use in processing your documents? So that will be run at a loss to U.S. government.
How about in a situation where...
Do you know that some visa applications are traced to the root of the person without you knowing?
Okay, what about those that were revoked? I mean, I was given visa and you decide to revoke my visa. Should there be any compensation for that?
Then that must... What was the process of revoking your visa? So is it that just nobody will wake up one day because he hates your face and revoke your visa?
So if I've been
do you know that there is a collaboration within the security circle
negatively about my country? If I've been calling out the government of my country and you decide to go through my social media handles and you decide to revoke my
nobody would revoke your visa on the basis that you are commenting about your country. But they will revoke your visa if the bile in you is enough to cause injury to another person.
So it feels like a shade at me. I mean, you're looking at me too much for that statement.
You see, okay. a lot of things are not out there. But because I am in the know, and
that's why it's good to educate our viewers, so we know better, right?
So when you exhibit so much bile for no just reason, they know that this man may have, or this woman may have a carryover when it gets to our country, and he might just pick up arms one day and begin to shoot at random.
For the failure of their country.
For the failure.
So let me take this question now. What implications might this reciprocal visa policy have on diplomatic relations between Nigeria and the United States of America at this time, and how might this also affect cooperation in areas like trade, security, and education?
Look, let me tell you.
Because those are major collaborations.
Yes,
between both countries.
Let me tell you. It's not going to strain relationship at the diplomatic level, because these people are also protecting themselves from harm. And it is not that America is denying every Nigerian visa. But those who are not qualified, you can't force American government to give them visa. And they have reasons. At diplomatic level, they will open their books and tell them that this is why we denied this person visa, because it's a potential threat to our interests if it gets to America. And must we wait until he unleashes his terror on America?
No, the government had agreed that...
do you know that
they were
on religious basis you can be denied visa?
That's
if you hate
Muslims
so much that I know of a guy. Let me give you an example again. There was this particular guy. He was in the midst of DSS guys, but he didn't know. And he was saying, he's a Muslim, that the day my daughter brings home a Christian to marry, that I would kill that my daughter. Now, if the DSS decides to profile that person and the thing leaks to security to the security unit of the embassy, security attaché, would you, if you are the security attaché, would you allow that person to enter America?
No, I mean, it might just be a normal African father. A normal African
That's why
the way they want to express themselves.
You must be conscious of your demeanor in public and in writing. Look, there are some people that have written certain things in the past that they are not proud of today.
And people have analyzed certain things.
And then what you have put there 10 years ago, some people are there to analyze. And you will be provided along your interventions in some of these handles. So
your line of thought is a reflection of what you are capable of doing.
Yes.
Is that what they say?
Yes.
But in a country, in a country like ours, where people will do so much for monetization. I mean, the kind of posts we have online these days were not the same back in the days when Facebook or the like started. I remember the days of to go, even your profile would be decent and all of that. But because of monetization, a lot of people come up with stories. Sometimes you even read stories. I'm sure the original people, when they read the story, they'll be asking themselves, which time I write this one? So people have been putting out a lot of things because of monetization. So is there any justification for cases like that? Here,
if I go to your timeline over a period of 1 year without seeing you, because my mind is trained towards that, I can tell you exactly who you are. This is not about prophecy. This is not about spirituality. Because there are some sleeps that ordinary people will not take into cognizance, that I will take into cognizance to the extent of knowing your inner mind at that particular time. And if you have changed that position over time, it will also reflect in your current posts.
If you check it, will you give me money if I'm a good girl?
Well, maybe if I have the money. So you see, the whole idea is people should be mindful of their utterances, should be mindful of what they say in public. They should be mindful of their attitude.
The captions.
You understand? You see, you just say it off the cuff, but somebody is taking notice.
Okay. Let's talk about this social media requirement. What might the requirement for social media disclosure, or how might it impact Nigerian citizens' right to privacy? And what potential risk or benefits could arise from this policy for individuals and the society at large? Because there is a place of privacy. I have a right to my privacy as an individual. And most of the social media platforms, when you sign up, they tell you that, oh, it's just for data's sake. It's not about them leaking any of your profile for any suggestion, for any interaction or any deals or any engagement. So in cases like this, what can be done?
You see,
what's the potential risk?
Let's look at this way. Is it compulsory you must go to America?
So I should go to Port Novo?
It's not compulsory you must go to America.
I'm asking. I mean, if
how many of the Americans who are not expatriates come to Nigeria?
That's why we're giving them tit for tat.
Let it continue. Let the tit for tat continue. Threatening that you want to deport Americans now. Before you load one aircraft, Boeing 737, all Americans in this country are gone.
So,
but you require 1,000.
We have colored Americans in Nigeria.
You need about 500 of such aircraft to move Nigerians back to Nigeria from America.
Then that should be a lesson to America, because it shows that America needs Nigerians more.
You think so?
Yes, I know so.
For every job you do, there are other Asians, Latinos, that are willing to take care of.
But Nigerians are doing amazingly well. Let's talk about
I'm not faulting that. But what I'm telling you is that America is just being liberal at this time to even tell you this. They don't need to tell you. This thing is at the realm of security. And they are not supposed to disclose this. They would have left everybody to continue to do their shenanigans on Facebook. And then when you want to go,
so
they say
the
no.
things that our government have been warning us about, the things that our elders have been talking about in the country, now young people will now be more cautious. But in what ways might this development reflect broader trends in global migration policies? Because you know how it is. America has set the standard. And how might other countries also respond to similar requirements imposed by the US or any other nation?
We know that other nations in this world, maybe apart from Israel, love to hate America. And when you know that in your community you are hated, what do? You make sure that you tighten security around yourself. And so that's what America is doing. So
no implication for other countries. You don't
see
other countries how this might develop. This development will reflect broader trends in global migration policies.
Let me give you another example. At some point, Britain was loose, UK was loose, that some religious sects were overtaking the Britons. But at a point, they now realized that, look, there must be a stop. And they came together and began to fashion out policies that will put a check to these proliferations. So it will come to a point that taking a cue from America today, Britain may follow suit, Germany may follow suit, even Saudi Arabia may follow suit, Kuwait may follow suit. Because nobody wants terrorists to assail his country, because the collateral damage will be too much for you to build back. So, what these people are doing is, America has Nigeria in its radar because of terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping. And so, one of the ways of profiling potential criminals that may want to leave Nigeria to ply his or her trade in America is this social media handle.
But let's talk about business.
People are flippant. They don't know the implication of what they write. I've had calls to call some of my friends when they post certain things. I say, my friend, go and pull this thing down. When you pull it down, I'll tell you the implication. And sometimes they are frightened.
Mr. Fanimo, let's wrap up on this topic.
Yes, ma'am.
What potential economic consequences could arise from this policy, particularly in terms of trade, tourism, business travel between Nigeria and the US, and the fact that other countries might even want to adopt this style?
You see, I've just answered that partially.
But we didn't talk about the business part.
But let me tell you, economic realities. These social media rats, are they players in the economic sphere?
So they don't really have economic value. Is that what you say? They get monies. They get monies from Elon Musk. They get money from Zook.
You see, Zach. somebody that gets money from Elon Musk is not going to have time to do all this. He's not going to have time to do all this. When you see youth that are really engaged, as a matter of fact, you don't find them on Facebook. Go and do your research. My two children, they brought down their Facebook more than 10 years ago. You can't find them there. Instagram, no way. The only place where they have presence is Twitter.
X, yeah. I know. People like that.
Which is X. So what we are saying is, these people that have potentials to assist America develop their economy, they are not major players where we are talking about.
But some of them are on social media. And
you see, those ones that are on social media,
that can help
those ones that are on social media, they don't engage in all this.
Right.
They detach themselves from government and governance, and they detach themselves from religion. Their focus is engagement in the space for business development.
Personal development. True. Now, let me take this final question on this issue. I mean, I was talking about tit for tat, and how do you think this tit for tat development affects the international reputation of both Nigeria and the US?
Not to talk for tat.
And also, I want you to wrap up on this. What message do you have for the young people? Because a lot of young people are caught in the web of uncensored content on social media. A lot of people just, even the people that are not monetized, a lot of people find the social media space as a leveler, and they just feel like they can say anything whatsoever, not thinking of the future implications. So what do you say to people my age and below?
Like I tell people that I come across, and when I see some posts that are incendiary, if that person is within my reach, I'll first tell that person, please pull this thing down. And after pulling it down, I will say, this is the implication. This is the far-reaching implication. It may not be now. It may be in the next 10 years, it may be in the next 5 years, but what you have done today, internet don't forget.
Right.
And you see, everything you do, the moment you type and send, a copy of it is in Pentagon with unlimited terabytes. So all they need to do is to punch, and everything will come back.
And you have to live with that.
And you have to live
forever.
with it. So please, what you cannot defend, don't do. What you cannot defend, don't say. Don't let exuberance push you to a dead end in your career, in your business,
right,
in your growth and development.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Daddy. That's the word. But really, we need to take so much. We need to pay more attention into the kind of content we put out there, and it's important to understand the place of accountability and responsibility, because at the end of the day, you have to pay dearly for your choices when it comes to what you choose to put out about yourself. But that's the much we can take on that topic. We're still here. We'll go on a break now, and when we return to talk about the African Democratic Congress, ADC, that has assured Nigerians that the prominent leaders Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Rotimi Amechi will remain united in their mission to transform Nigeria regardless of who secures the party's presidential ticket in 2027. Please stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to African Democratic Congress, the conversation on African Democratic Congress on Voice of the People Television. And you're still watching the People's Voice, where we're talking about conversations that matters to Nigerian people, speaking your mind on political issues. So the African Democratic Congress has been in the news for so long. I mean, maybe since the coalition was announced. And of course, it's been a lot of back and forth with Nigerians speculating what the future is for the party. But the party seems standing strong, saying that the prominent leaders in the party like Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, and Rotimi Amechi will remain united in their mission to transform the country regardless of who secures the party's presidential ticket in 2027. The goal is to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And according to the ADC's Deputy National Publicity Secretary, Jackie Wayas, the party's priority right now is rescuing Nigeria from its current challenges, and the pact between these leaders is rooted in their shared commitment to rebuilding the nation. The ADC is still deciding whether to zone its presidential ticket or to adopt an open primary system, with the final decision guided by an internal party negotiations and the NEC guidelines. The party is also establishing a policy committee to develop a governance blueprint, including measurable first 100 days pledges on critical issues like economy, electoral reform, and security. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, aims to mobilize 35 million voters. You heard that correctly. 35 million voters ahead of the 2027 polls, confident in its growing membership and expecting smooth voter registration and the PVC collection process. Despite internal debates on zoning, the ADC leadership remains committed to unity and transforming Nigeria. But some analysts have warned that unresolved zoning disputes could impact the party's viability, as seen in the PDP's experience in the year 2015 and, of course, 2023. And that seemed to be a major problem when it comes to internal wrangling within Nigerian political parties. But feels like the ADC knows better, having been through most of these big political parties. I mean, a lot of the people in the ADC are actually people that transited from PDP to APC and APC to ACN. And I mean, it's been a long time, it's been a journey since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999. So maybe the ADC knows better. I still have in the studio with me Mr. Dele Fanimo to help us dissect this topic. Mr. Dele Fanimo, ADC, I mean, it feels like ADC is going to be in the news still forever.
I think that was an ADC airline.
Mr. Fanimo, let's get serious. This is a serious matter.
What is it not serious? I'm just trying to remind myself.
This is something that has to do with Nigerians choosing alternative alignments ahead of 2027.
I was just trying to refresh my memory.
All right, let me ask you this question while you try to refresh your memory. Do you think the ADC can unite among, I mean, do you think, can the ADC's unity among its prominent leaders be sustained despite the potential zoning disputes? And of course, what implications might this have for the party's chances in the 2027 elections? Because a lot of analysts have said it is easy to say that they are united because there's not been any reason to have a serious issue. No presidential primaries have been done yet. No reason to make national decisions that have so much impact that would have led to people's sentiment and bias playing out. So, what's your opinion on this?
Can 3 sailors, ship captain, maneuver a ship at the same time?
It's possible if they choose different bus stop. Maybe one decides to drive from here to here, and another one picks it from the Red Sea to the Blue Sea. I mean, they will navigate.
Let's be realistic about these things.
2 years.
You see, let me tell you, ADC, I have said it several times, ADC is a vehicle that the electrical wiring is faulty. The brain box has problem. So if you still have it on the road with feet and jacks, I can assure you it won't get to the destination before everything packs up.
Mr. Fanimo, do you feel like ADC actually listens to you when you talk? Because every time these predictions are made, whether by yourself or any other analyst, ADC comes to prove to us that, man, we hear everything that you people are saying, but we are telling you that we are the best alternative alignment for Nigeria.
Have you ever seen a politician that is not an optimist? Even when they are drowning, they believe that that water will sustain them and they will walk on the water
the
like Jesus Christ.
APC was optimistic even in the midst of uncertainty. I mean, the APC unseated an incumbent.
The scenario, the template is different from what is going on now.
What makes it different?
There was a narrowhead in APC. And they built the party around that arrowhead. For every football team, there is a player that the team is built around.
Mr. Fanimo, they had a party primaries. Atiku contested in their primaries.
Look, everybody knew that with the coming of Tinubu to APC in 2014, that because Tinubu was not going to run at that time, the zoning was in favor of the North. Everybody knew that there was nobody that could displace Buhari on the ballot in that election. And so everybody queued behind Buhari. And every other person, no matter how big you are, including Tinubu himself, subsumed himself under Buhari, and he was allowed to drive the process.
The same Baba time.
And all the sloganeering, all the optics changed.
Yeah, around him. Okay.
But you now have an ADC that you can't even define what is going to happen in that party. There are so many things that are assailing that party that does not look, I mean, those things are things that may not take them to the next level. There are litigations that may seem interminable until the day of election.
The owner of the party doesn't think that way. Rafu also has said.
Who is the owner of the party?
Rafu also has said that it was willing.
No, who is the owner of the party?
It was willful for what, at the time where he handed over to David Mark and the leadership of the coalition.
Who is the owner of the party?
It was. I just.
Is it in Wosu?
I just told you
that his case was in court, that had been ousted by ADC.
Mr. Fanimo,
before he handed over a pseudo document.
That's for constitution's sake, but we know that the party was about also Raf.
It is not so. You see, until you break the heart of a madman on the street, that's when you know that he's related to a governor.
How might the ADC's policy governance blueprint and the first 100 days pledges impact the party's appeal to voters?
100 days in office.
No, I mean they talk about 100 days. The pledge. Mr. Funny, I don't like how you're taking me out of seriousness. What's funny about
it's
this
not
pledge?
Funny. I'm asking you. I want to be clear.
I mean, they are planning their next meeting. They are planning to make things right. They are planning to work on the internal issues within the party and all of that. And this is the ADC's policy committee's governance blueprint is something that should be admirable. It shows that this is a serious party that knows what Nigeria needs, and they are telling Nigerians that they are already a serious party that knows what Nigeria needs, and they are telling Nigerians that they are ready in 2027 and they know what to do.
Well, there is no.
Okay, I thought you wanted to call my name.
There is no law that says you cannot dream.
So for you,
I've never seen anybody being prosecuted for dreaming. So they can afford to dream. They are yet to take off, and they are talking about
alternative for Nigeria.
Now that you said it seems like you are not even sure. So let's wait. Let them show us what alternative things they are bringing to the table. Okay. These are people that have been tested
on different platforms. The platform might have shaped the persons they have been.
Even in governance.
Yeah, the
platform,
at
certain level.
The platform, the ideology of the party could as well have
No,
shaped.
don't talk about ideology. Can you tell me the ideology of ADC? Other than criticism.
It's to rescue Nigerians.
To rescue Nigeria. What are the modalities for rescuing Nigeria? Have they been able to tell us? You see, they're not going to tell us everything so that the APC will not use it. These are bands of opportunists that are driven by hatred and greed to capture power at all costs.
Mr. Fanimo, a lot of analysts believe that the choice of the ADC saying that they are not going to zone the ticket is a political miscalculation in a bid to sound different from other political parties. But what are the potential risks and benefits of the ADC's decision to either zone its presidential ticket or adopt an open primary system? And how do you think this decision might affect the party's dynamic if they are able to pull through to the 2027 general elections?
You see, I have always said it. The person beating the drum knows why he's beating the drum, that there shouldn't be zoning. The person is Atiku, and he knows that...
Atiku has not even picked the ticket. He has not even signed up for membership of the...
Won't he prepare? He wants that ticket at all costs, and he doesn't want anybody to talk about zoning, because zoning will not favor him. It's not yet the time of the North. And if they prop up zoning, he knows that the next person that could benefit from zoning is a Southerner. And Araboshola is not in contest. It's only Peter Obi that is in contest.
No, and it's not just Peter Obi. We have Peter Obi and Rotimi Amechi.
Amechi is a non-starter. Amechi is a non-starter, so don't let
Amechi is a former governor just like Peter Obi. As a matter of fact, Amechi was 8 years minister under Buhari's administration.
And what is his profile?
Minister of Transportation. What is his profile? And even got a very strong title.
What is his profile at the national space? Before you can become a president of this country, you must have spread your tentacles to every nook and cranny of this country, to the extent that people will not mistake you for a Nollywood actor when your name is projected in certain areas.
So what are you insinuating?
Amechi does not go beyond River State, and even his profile in River State had been deemed by his successor, Wiki.
Let me take you on your thoughts on your submission on Peter Obi being the beneficiary if the ticket is zoned. Don't you think an Atiku Abubakar might be willing to support Peter Obi just to unseat Bola Ahmed Tinubu and maybe build the Nigeria that they envisage?
Maybe if you are ready to stake a bet, I'll bring all my certificate from primary school to master's level. I'll come and give it to you original. That the day Atiku raises Peter Obi in ADC as candidate of that party, burn them.
What if they choose?
That is to tell you how sure I am that Atiku alive and he can raise his limbs and he can talk, can never cede He is the one that bought ADC.
Okay, so what did they choose?
All these other people are passengers in ADC.
What did they choose to have a replay of the 2019?
Who has the watches among these people to contest with Atiku? Who?
That's what I'm talking about, a replay of the 2019 Atiku Obi tickets. Do you see that?
Yes, now. Yes, now.
So you feel like Obi will concede to run with as
Obi does not have the watches to contest the ticket of ADC with Atiku.
But he still has the
loyalty
and the benevolence.
He
of
has
the
even started doing it by giving state party chairmen money. Did you hear Obi giving any state party chairman money?
Obi no, they give shishi, and Obi was able to make a strong show.
Who are the people that will be the foot soldiers during delegates election at the convention?
That's why the obedience are suggesting that primaries is not necessary, but it is a good product that is sellable.
Atiku that are invested heavily in state ESCOs that will produce the list of delegates during convention will now allow it the obedient way. Look, let us not brood over this.
When it comes to Nigerian politics, you can't be too sure, Mr.
I am too sure. Show me one thing I have said in this platform in the last 1 year that has not come to pass. Show me one.
That's in the past. We don't know what the future holds.
Okay, let the future hold contrary opinion.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Dele Fadimo, for being a part of People's Voice. It's always interesting, insightful, and quite engaging having you on the show, and a lot of information for Nigerians generally to absorb. But that's the much we can take on People's Voice today. It's been an interesting conversation, and that's how we wrap it up on the #1 TV show that empowers your voice and shape the future of the nation. Until next time, I am Adefunke Jaisibi, and I strongly believe in this project Nigeria, no matter what is happening right now.